Dear ones, I am Archangel Michael. I need to start today's video by repeating the last words I said in yesterday's video, which were technical problems. I prefer to say they were technical problems, you couldn't hear them. When I finished the video, I was deeply moved, but not in the way you understand emotion, but I am also moved. No, before many think, I don't cry, it's as if my energy expanded even more, due to the ecstasy that was in my consciousness. I must tell you that yesterday's meeting was excellent. If I can compare it to the previous one, which was practically 5 months ago, this one was perfect. If I can compare the energy that connected me to each one of you, I can make a comparison in the following way, that at that time the thread that connects me, the energetic thread, that connected me to each one of you, was as thin as a thread of hair. Yesterday, our wire was already the size of a wire you use in your homes to make sockets. No, don't think it's thin, it's increased a lot. Make the proportion of the strand of hair to the strand you use to transmit energy. It's a fantastic change, and I felt it very strongly yesterday. So I ended by saying that my connection with each of your hearts was immense, and that I was extremely grateful for that moment, and that you would sleep with this energy pulsing in your chest. I'm sure many had wonderful dreams. Those who didn't dream, or who didn't feel any difference, please don't feel smaller or inferior. Remember, each of you is at a stage of evolution, and each one reacts in a different way. Don't want to speed things up. If you still don't feel, or don't see, what many say they feel and see, it's because the time has not yet come. You are still being prepared for this. So be patient, but don't feel inferior, or smaller, you are just on a level of evolution. I won't say smaller, I will rather say, that you are a little further back on the road, that they are already there in front, and you are still walking to get there, and you will certainly get there. This is right. For those who failed to hear the water prayer correctly, I will repeat it here and now. Then you will get a glass of water, and you will say a prayer, and you will only drink it the next day. Attention, it is to be drunk the next day. Then I will repeat the prayer. Before starting, I ask that each of you place your right hand over the water, as my energy will be passing through you. It's a new way for you to realize how powerful you are, my Archangel Michael. May you energize this water, so that I can be freed from any prejudice, fear, or discrimination that I may feel when knowing the truths. May this water, my Archangel Michael, sweep away from my mind any and all prejudices or arrogance that I am the owner of the truth. Ready? This was yesterday's prayer, so no one missed it, it's all there, just repeat it. And before you ask, this is not a procedure, this is not a task, but it's like I've been saying, whoever wants to create the habit, do it. You will be increasingly strengthened, to hear the truths, without being hit, in a stronger way. So continuing our teachings on Sananda. Today I will comment on letter number 2. And as a task, you will have to read letter 3 for tomorrow. So in this letter 2, Sananda, already aware of its importance in bringing the word of our Father or Mother God to everyone, decides to follow his path. He is extremely ecstatic about all the knowledge he acquired, and completely certain, that vengeful God, that punitive God, that the religions of the time made everyone believe in, did not exist, and this was what gave him more strength, to move forward, to shout to the world, that there was no punishment, there was no punishment. And so he did. Note that when he returns home, after his enlightenment in the desert, he tries to make Mary, his mother, believe what he said, but it was also difficult for her, because she lived under the precepts of religion. Then you begin to realize that Mother Mary was also human, extremely human. She had not yet been awakened, to all this knowledge. They were all experiencing earthly life, life in the third dimension, because Mary was also an evolved spirit, but incarnated in a human body in the third dimension. Exactly like her son, Sananda, and I can also confirm his father Jose, who was nothing more than the soul of Saint Germain, as you know him today. Then they realized that everyone was there, attached to this third-dimensional human outfit, to carry out their missions. No one was born holy, no one was born pure, no one was born enlightened, everyone was born exactly like you, as humans. So I want you to make the parallel with your souls, because many of you continue to think that you don't deserve everything you are gaining, everything you are going through, the power that I say you have, you think yourselves are dirty, you think you are sinners, you think you are too errant human to have any power, any type of enlightenment. So I want to reinforce, whoever read the first letter, understood what the first years of Sananda's life were like, a human like any other, with even reprehensible attitudes, we can say so, through the eyes of those who think that saints have to drive yourself. Is anyone here going to condemn what Sananda did? Is anyone here going to cast the first stone? Are you going to condemn his actions as a young man? Are you going to condemn his rebellious nature, which made him seek the explanation, the path, exactly as you did, and got here? The vast majority of you were rebellious, never believed in anything, always understood that there was something wrong with this story, and sought the truth, just like him. What is the difference between you and Sananda? As humans, none, no difference. The difference that exists between you is the degree of evolution of your souls, which is obvious, that Sananda's soul is extremely far away, in terms of evolution, from the soul of each one of you. But as humans, you were born, raised, and lived just like Sananda. Then he begins to fulfill his teaching journey, to explain to everyone the power that you all had. He understood that the cure was within everyone's reach, you just needed to believe. He is very clear when he says that you create what you think, what you emanate, that all the problems that exist in humanity were created by you, not by our Father or Mother God as punishment or punishment. Everything you go through today, you planted it. Ah, but we had the dark ones guiding us, for that. Yes, you did, because you had to go through it, because you were, as you like to say, tempted to go through it. And then I ask all of you, why are you here now? Each of you who resonate with what I say, why are you here now? Because you broke with this whole matrix, as you call it, of alienation. You were able to understand that everything was wrong, and that you had to look for another way. And precisely because you made this decision, everything came to you, you got here. Because it was seen in the hearts of each one of you, that it was time for you to awaken, and you are here, as it was with Sananda, in which he went to the river, to be baptized by John the Baptist, and from there, he received all the necessary illumination for his journey, for his preaching. Did he stop being human? No, he didn't. You can see that at times, even after enlightenment, Sananda still fell into the traps of the environment, he became upset, quarrelsome, because he wanted everyone to understand what he was saying. So, my brothers, I say to you, don't try to be perfect, living there in the third dimension, because the environment provokes you at all times, the environment hits you all the time. It would be necessary for you to leave your homes, leave behind all those who do not agree with what you say or do, and go and live together, in a great egregore of love and light. It will be? Would you be able to remain a large group, without fighting, without having those feelings still deeply ingrained within you? Many would miss it, many would want to return, many would rebel, and so on. So my brothers, everything in its own time. Don't try for perfection, because it's not yet time for perfection. But this is what I told you, when you chose to follow this path of seeking the truth, of changing yourself, of transforming yourself, you made a choice, and that choice is being seen by the universe, and you are walking. Remember what I said at the beginning of the video, you had almost no connection with me and today you already have a consistent connection. What this means? It means that you are managing to keep the light in your hearts. Remember, the more light you emanate, the closer we come. So if our connection has become more visible, stronger, what is the reason for that? It's because you are evolving, you are emanating light, even with those little moments, where you step out of line, where you step out of line. What matters is what is in your heart, what matters is your desire, it is what you want. When you say, I want to evolve. This resonates in the universe like a ringing of bells, the angels blow their trumpets, because there is a soul ready to catch that train, even with all the defects she still has, because when you said it there, from the bottom of your heart. That's what I say, there's no point in saying I want to evolve, without feeling, without will, without love, whatever was said. Then no one listens, but if you speak with love, with joy, and during the day you do everything possible, the effort to stay in the light, this is all being counted in your favor. So that's what I always say here, my brothers, everything is balance. There is no point in wanting to become saints overnight, to live on the light. Oh no, from now on I won't eat anymore, I'll just pray and live on light. Very well, you will die, your physical body will die, because it is not prepared for it. I already said this here. Some have even taken this test and succeeded. But I advise you not to do it again, because your physical bodies are not prepared to live on light. They need food. You have a human carcass that needs food. This is how our Father or Mother God created you. In this dimension, you need food. So my brothers, everything is balance, do not want to be saints, don't want to stop doing everything at once. You have a habit of dieting, the most absurd possible, there's a moon diet, there's an apple diet, there's a diet of that other, and then you start excited, you start, and it takes a week, and you're already feeling horrible, nervous, angry, ready to go off on everyone. I don't know why I'm like this. I don't know either. And then you end up abandoning it. Why? Because there was no balance. Everything has to be balanced, even in the diet. Suppressing is not the way, you can suppress it little by little, so that your brain understands that at each moment it will receive a little less of that, and it gets used to it, and then when you get used to it, you will look at it and it will say, I no longer have the slightest desire. Now if you take it out at once, the day will come when you will eat, how much of that? I don't even know how to measure it, because you are so hungry for that thing, that you haven't eaten in so long, that you won't have a limit. So my brothers, everything is balance. Many here are stopping eating animal meat. Perfect, it's an excellent decision, but from today onwards, I won't eat any more. I already told you this, take it out little by little, find replacements. It's not just stopping eating because you'll get sick, you have to find something to replace it. I no longer eat animal meat, but I eat a lot of vegetables, I eat a lot of vegetables, I eat a lot of fruits, I eat a lot of nuts, so that you replace all the protein, fat, that came from that meat. How did you replace the meat? They just stopped eating. No, my brothers, you will get sick, not in the short term, but in the long term, you will get sick, due to the lack of what was there, because your bodies have already gotten used to it. So there has to be a balance, gradually removing and replacing, creating new habits. I don't eat steak anymore. But you eat a handful of grains that have protein, you just replace it, perfect, your body will be fed. So my brothers, be careful with the decisions you make, everything is about balance. So what can I say to you, that Sananda started down this road, and went through all the attacks that you also go through today. He got to the point where they wanted to kill him. I'm not going to say this is happening to you, but there are those radicals, everywhere. So realize that the new, that which is enlightened, is never accepted at first, is never accepted easily, and when Sananda was told that it would take millennia for his word to be understood, he felt discouraged. As if I know everything here now, how will it take millennia? And that's exactly what happened, 2 millennia passed, for his words to be echoed, with total truth, in the correct way. Not in the way it was passed down in religious books. Everything has its time, my brothers. Sananda was not brought to this planet for nothing, Sananda came to sow love, unity among men. I can say that even through crooked lines, through things that were not done by it, Christianity has remained standing until today. The love for Christ, as you call Sananda, continues today. So his words at that time were not in vain, even if they were distorted, they were modified. Why? Because Sananda's love was planted in the hearts of each of you, and it is as if it were a small addendum to the divine spark of our Father Mother God. So here I am going to separate Sananda from the religion Christianity. Sananda was a being of light, in which the spark of his love was planted in the hearts of everyone on earth. And this spark was multiplied over time. So that's why even his words, having been distorted, having been modified, have not lost value. Because his love is in the hearts of each of you. This was placed in each of the souls that were on this planet, and in those that were about to be reincarnated. As the soul is unique, you reincarnate, but the soul continues with his spark, and this love resonates in your heart, even those who do not follow this religion, who do not consider him, the spark of his love is there, in all souls, without exception. Therefore, he is largely responsible for this entire process that you are going through now. Sananda's love for the souls of this planet is immeasurable, and it is because of this immeasurable love that everything is happening, as it is happening. Thanks to his love, the entire evolution of this planet is happening. So my brothers, what is the moral of the story, of today's video? No one was born a saint, no one was born a saint, people evolve over time, throughout their lives, along their journey. Don't want to be perfect. Seek balance. This is the great truth. Always walk in balance. Walk in the light always, and you will be walking that path, as Sananda walked until he reached the desert. You will also arrive at the moment of your enlightenment, where you will remember where you will live and understand everything. You are on the way to that desert, just like he did. So don't lose strength, don't lose hope, even if the path is dry, difficult, don't lose faith, and don't lose strength, because you will get there. I am Archangel Michael. I'm here exactly to give you the support you need for this journey.